Hey everybody. Thursday night. We're not playing Sonic because I wanted to play this yesterday and because of certain circumstances I didn't. So we're playing this today and Sonic will probably be tomorrow. Let's play Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb for original Xbox, played on Xbox One via backwards compatibility. This was one of the last batch of games added to backwards compatibility, and I was so happy when they added it. It means I don't have to bust out the 360 to play this anymore. Manda, Ninja, Star, how you guys doing? There's good work there, Star. Nah, to be fair, Ninja, is because it was really damn hot, and I just didn't feel like doing anything. So I'm going to turn the voices all the way up.
Here I come. Fortune and glory, here I come. Fortune and glory, here I come.
Like, today, it's really toned down, the heat. Like, it's unbelievable. Nah, I didn't really do anything during that boss ninja, to be honest. Alright. I had this game in my youth. On original Xbox. It was good, I enjoyed it. Years later, I wanted to pick it up again. So I looked into the PS2 version. The PS2 version is poorly considered, apparently. It's got a bunch of issues. So I picked up the original Xbox version. Not particularly pricey. Because the it hadn't been added to backwards compatibility yet. It's a pretty common thing whenever a game gets added to Xbox backwards compatibility, the price jumps up for physical copies. Yeah, I was a little confused about that. But we figured it out. I hope you're all Indiana Jones fans. Come on, Ninja, I'm not overpriced. I'm actually surprised when I turned this on and it's like, oh, it's widescreen?
According to the map, that stone head marks the secret entrance into the Lost City. Beyond the city lies the Temple of the Black River Goddess, and inside, the Idol of Kuruwatu. I'm close now.
This game has already started pretty well. Widescreen. Let me just change those. Subtitles, that's nice. But this is the 30s, Manda. Vibration. I'm not allowed to change the inversion, so it's not... Oh wait, no. First person. There we go. This game has started so well. Look at this. Widescreen, super clean, nice and crisp. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Subtitles. Oh, this is gonna be good. Fun fact, this was developed by the Collective, who also developed the Buffy the Vampire Slayer game that was exclusive to the original Xbox, and later developed the Star Wars Episode 3 game. Which was... it was alright. It was an alright game. Look at this old geometry. Let me fill up my canteen. Not like that. Not like that. One day I'll figure out how to add more water to my canteen. Maybe I'm not allowed to use this water. Do-dee-doo. Do-dee-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, timeline-wise, this game is actually set before Temple of Doom. There we go. That's what we can do.
I can use this water to fill up my canteen.
I can't just fill it up from anywhere. So this is my favourite Indiana Jones game. Not that there's much competition, admittedly. Like, you talk about good Indiana Jones games, and what do you got? Fate of Atlantis? If you're really old school, the old Last Crusade adventure game. Did anybody actually play the Infernal Machine? Do 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 do. Bam, bam.
I'll need to cut through these vines. Good thing I brought my whip.
So, of course, Indy is not voiced by Harrison Ford. Is that tap or is it just hold? Right, hold. Alright, remember that. To be fair, at this point, it's kind of difficult to. The last Indiana Jones game released was Staff of Kings on PS2, PSP, and I think Wii. It had a DS version. None of them were really that good. Before that, there was this. Before this was Infernal Machine on PC and Nintendo 64. Before that was Fate of Atlantis, which was a PC game. Which, if you're into classic point-and-click games, some of the old LucasArts stuff is fantastic. Monkey Island games, Sam & Max,
Ivory hunters. These guys
Maniac
are no
Mansion,
good,
and of
watch
course
my back.
Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Do-dee-doo. Bum-ba-dum, ba-da-ba-bum-ba-dum-bum-ba-dum. Is the game loud enough for you guys? It sounded kind of quiet when I was testing the audio earlier. Ah, the old fading bodies. I'm glad he didn't see anything. quick reflexes. It is kind of quiet. I get my remote as well. Hopefully that's better. I don't think there's any music at the minute. Revolver ammo. Maybe it's just quiet though. Get into a more action scene, see what that's like. There's an interesting tidbit though about Sail on Manda. That is not something I knew. But I am not generally all that up on geography or geographical history. I got a shovel.
Внимание! He's over here!
How's it sounding now? Is that good? Liquor bottles. Controls pretty well. One of the things that's always kind of awkward about going back to a game from this time period is the controls might be just off. Like just a little off. Not so much that you have to really go through the whole thing. Like remap your brain around it. But just enough that it's super awkward. Alright, we'll see how that is then. But this plays alright. Surprised there's nobody hiding around here. Wait a minute, does this game let you... It does, right. That's a nice feature. Filling your canteen automatically also fills your health. That's a good quality of life feature. I like that. Only if it comes out of glowing crocodile heads. That's actually surprisingly fast as well. Like, it's been a while since I've played this. Well, I am pleasantly surprised with all of this. This is really neat. Like, it feels like it's aged pretty well.
I'm gonna be a rich man, if I ever get out of this alive.
Yeah, it's got Harrison Ford's approximate likeness. Oh, to be fair, Might not even be intended to be Harrison Ford. But it doesn't have his voice. They weren't going to throw the money out for that. Sort of. The artwork on the box does look like him. It's got the artwork that makes it look like one of the movies. Sort of an Indiana Jones game. Well, the crocodile head gave that away. Just not how much it was going to do. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Something just disappear in the water. Pretty much. I mean, you go with anything like Tomb Raider or Uncharted, and the basic idea of it goes back to something did. The basic idea of it usually goes back to Indiana Jones in some way. Although the basic idea of Indiana Jones goes back to pulp movies from like the 30s and 40s. Swimming's inverted. Yeah, it's actually super convenient that this also heals you while you do it. No, I've still got the hat. The hat just disappears while we're underwater. You could maybe assume that he's holding it. There you go. That guy's got a gun. There we go.
Давай, давай! Get him, lads!
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Keep an eye out for the American. When Beck wants his head.
Yeah, lads.
I'm going to make you eat that whip.
This is getting kind of silly. And then he's round immediately.
This ought to even up the odds.
Immediately. Not even that he can't swim, he immediately just started drowning. Which was unbelievably amazing. Alright, there we go. That looked kind of janky. Well, I hope there aren't crocodiles in Ceylon. Everything was okay. Do 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 do. This is one of my favourite games to bring up when I talk about the idea of variable mix. Because the game will play the Indiana Jones theme during fight scenes. It'll play the Indiana Jones theme during fight scenes, like da da da. And like if you're winning, it'll be playing the theme all upbeat and everything. If you start to lose, it'll do that sudden downturn the Indiana Jones theme does sometimes when things go wrong in the movies. And I love that.
Keep an eye out for the Americans, eh? All the big ones is in. There he is.
There he is!
Oh, my hat. Okay, this might have been a bad idea.
Черт возьми, пократнее москитос!
My trusty revolver.
Oi, he's over here.
Alright, I think I took care of it. Take that. That. Alright, let's go. I also like the little icon that tells you, hey, this is the end of the level. Are you sure you want to leave? The diamond, Lau. The deal was for the diamond. You know, maybe I will, Ninja. Maybe I will. I don't know what our guy's doing. There's stairs over here. That's the kind of content you don't pay for. Because let's be fair, if you're paying money for it, you should be getting better. Dual wield machetes. I actually can't.
There he is!
Oh dear. Be careful, buddy, you lost your hat. Why would it be terror if I'm the one running at him with the machete? Did you think about this at all, Ninja? I'm glad this game's available on Xbox One now via backwards compatibility. You can either pick up a physical copy or pick it up digitally, which is one of the best things about Xbox One backwards compatibility. I wish it was available for more people, though. Which I suppose is always the case. But when you think about how much Disney is sitting on of, like, back catalogue of the companies they've bought, specifically with Lucasfilm. Yeah, but Ninja, that's the thing. I was the guy running at the other guy. So why would I be screaming in terror? It's like, you think about, since Disney bought Lucasfilm and how much they got out of that, it's kind of weird that the old LucasArts adventure games have been kind of just absent or purchased by Double Fine. Like, Grim Fandango was purchased by Double Fine, that's why they were able to do the remaster. Day of the Tentacle, which includes Maniac Mansion, Full Throttle. The Sam and Max games more recently were done by Telltale. I don't even know who owns those
The stone has been
anymore.
weakened here. If I could get my hands on some explosives, I could blast a way through.
Oi, he's over here.
You're Australian.
Keep an eye out for the big ones is in.
Stab. Alright. Is there another gun? This good stuff, good stuff. You notice this guy looks like that one guy from The Mummy Returns who helped find the box? Specifically when he has the bandana on, before I punched it off him. Before I punched the bandana off him. That's what we're here to do, Ninja. You don't go and watch an Indiana Jones flick for him not to beat the crap out of people.
I'll try not to blow myself up.
Unfortunately, no big Nazis will be caught in a propeller. The fights with the big guy were always great. I think the first two movies, the big guy was played by the same dude. Did Last Crusade have a big guy? What does this button do? There's some fast reloading there, Indy. Look at this cover-based shooting.
There he is.
The days before everything had you manually aim. Back when third-person shooters would have auto-aim. Like, not even third-person shooters, just third-person action-adventure games. Nowadays, they'll all make you aim, and if you can't aim, well, tough shit. Back in the day, it was all auto-aim. Which, you know, could be a real problem sometimes. I feel like more of these guys should have dropped guns. It's weird that these days, with just how prevalent that kind of aiming is in third-person shooters, how third-person shooters still get aiming wrong. Like, how it'll still feel, like, really crap. Like, you think we'd hit a point where, like, one game figured it out, and then everybody copies it. Because it ain't like they don't copy everything else in games. I still say Resident Evil 4, 5, and even 6. Like, the whole design in Resident Evil had some of the best aiming in any third-person shooter. The whole push for realism that the industry went into really just kind of killed a lot of fun. You can't have fun, that's unrealistic. Alright, let's see what's over there. Like I say, I feel like the Resident Evil games, the third-person ones from 4 onwards, did get shooting right. Like, I feel like 7 didn't. I feel like 7's shooting was one of the worst parts about it. I never liked actually having to fight anything in that game. Like 4, 5, 6, RE2 make does, RE3 make. The big problem with RE2 make and 3 make shooting is just that everything takes so much damage. Yeah, it feels like 7 doesn't have any auto-aim on it, which is really weird. I've heard if you're playing it with a mouse, then it's actually a lot better. Because with a mouse, you don't have auto-aim anyway, because of the greater control. So if this is progress, then what's this? What did I find? I don't remember. Oh, it was this. Okay. Oh, it's a shortcut. Alright. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, from RE4 onwards, Resident Evil's just had really good control styles. For all of its problems, RE6 controls well. Yeah, RE7's hitboxes are also kind of weird. I'll probably be way more into RE8 if they fix a lot of that. At the end of the day, I think RE7 was a solid enough game, wasn't really for me. I liked its ideas, I liked its story. Its mechanics are what held it back for me. And my only real problem with RE8 from everything we saw was that it was called RE8. We take that idea out of the equation and I'll probably be way more into it. I've done that before. I've ignored the name of a series before. Yeah. It's not a bad comparison, actually. I pressed the wrong button to jump. Yeah, let me just take a swig of water. Remember to stay hydrated. Alright. Yeah, I can work this out. Well, didn't work that out. But yeah, we see more of RE8, and it might end up being interesting. The idea was interesting. My big problem was just that it was called Resident Evil, which I thought would really kind of limit the possibilities of the premise. But maybe we'll do some interesting stuff with it, maybe it'll be an interesting game. And at the end of the day, just take out the idea that it's Resident Evil, the preconceived notion of what Resident Evil should be, and it should be good. Basically did that with RE4 anyway. And RE4 was great. Kick him in the balls. Now, did you drop a gun? Yes, you did. Thank you. One day I might stream RE4. I might even let the viewers decide what version I do. be fair, there's really only a point between, like, 3 versions. Of RE4? Probably the Wii version, honestly. Like, the GameCube version has a bunch of visual effects that haven't been carried over in any version other than the Wii version. So while every other version plays fine, you're still missing stuff from the original experience. The Wii version does have that, it's the only version that does. Plus it gets all the content from the PS2 version. And the thing that people often tend to forget with the Wii version is you don't have to play it with the Wiimote. You can play the entire game with the classic controller or just the GameCube controller. I have my canteen out. The HD texture pack doesn't really interest me, except for maybe a couple of textures in the game. The RE4 in HD is, for the most part, a pretty good looking game. Admittedly, Capcom could have put more effort into it, yeah. But it upscales pretty well. The biggest issue, ooh, a bigger canteen. The biggest issue, honestly, is like there's a few textures that just look terrible. And the one that really stands out in my head is the first door you come to in the castle. It just is a big red door and it just looks awful. Not really sure why. It looks blurry and incredibly low res. That's the thing, like, I have no idea why we need a remake of RE4. It plays fine. Like, RE4 is one of the best aged games of the generation. The only thing there should be a remake of it for would be in a similar way to how Nintendo remade Wind Waker, but even that wouldn't really be necessary. Two and 3, I will kind of argue against. I understand the purpose of a remake of 2 and 3, particularly in an entirely different style from the original games. I think there is a purpose. 3 might have missed that somewhat, and 2, as a remake, may be underwhelming, but there was a purpose to be served. The gameplay design of the originals, as much as I love them, is an archaic design.
Keep an eye out for the American, eh? Won't think once his head.
But with 4, what are they going to do? Put it in the same gameplay style it already was? Okay, you're getting it. Got your gun now, you son of a bitch. Like or dislike the remakes of 2 and 3, there is at least a purpose to having them. You could argue the original Resident Evil remake doesn't serve too much purpose, conceptually, since it's very much the same design of game. It's just that it massively expands it. Expands and refines it. I mean, hell, the fact that the original remake came out 6 years after the original game is crazy. They could have theoretically put it on the PS1 with like very similar, maybe sharper graphics than the original, and just called it like RE1 Definitive or something. In that regard, it does kind of make it kind of weird to call it a remake, with the exception of the fact that there's completely new graphics. A new story, mechanics, and whatever notwithstanding. Since conceptually it is still the same game. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. That's why I say, like, the remake is basically RE1 Definitive. It took the original idea, applied the improvements over it, and then did more with it. Like I say, with the exception of the entirely new graphics, everything about it could have been on PS1. Hell, if it had come out in 2001 instead of 2002. Damn, I don't want to fall back in. Come on, there's an alligator here.
There she is. Kuruwatu. Not exactly my idea of a hot
Pretty
date.
much, yeah. What's lost from the original? Voice acting? Let's be fair, as fun as the charm of the bad voice acting is, it really doesn't mean anything.
There he is.
Yeah, our remake is... like, if it wasn't for the graphics, you would just call it like the definitive edition. It'd be the true director's cut. Hell, that idea makes me interested in the potential possibility of getting remake and putting it on a PS1. Like, imagine that as an idea. It's remake, it's just on the PS1 graphics. Okay, 1, 2. You could call it like Resident Evil Demake, or Resident Evil Demake. I think largely because we have Remake as a definitive edition. A lot of people don't go back and touch the original for anything beyond nostalgia, or just seeing where the series starts. I can hit that vine. I mean, hell, I've been arguing for a while now that Capcom should just release like a trilogy of the original 3 RE games on modern systems. This thing, I can understand the appeal of going back to the original, especially as a fan. If you've never played it. Because sometimes it's interesting to see where the series started. Like checking out Final Fantasy 1 or Dragon Quest 1 or the original Zelda game. Though in the case of Dragon Quest 1 and Final Fantasy 1, check out one of the remakes. In the case of Zelda 1, that's a difficult thing to argue. Zelda 1 is archaic as hell. I'd say if you're interested in checking out the original Final Fantasy, play the PS1 version specifically, because it's the only one of the remakes that keeps the original magic system. It's actually kind of a shame. Every other remake after that replaced the magic system from the original with the MP system. But the original, the PS1 remake, gave you the option of both. You could choose which one you wanted, which was really nice. Well, you take the idea.
I'll have to find another way around.
Oh!
You take the... Do I need the whip? Nope, probably should have jumped now. You take the idea of the Resident Evil Director's Cut and you replace the arranged game. Because while the arranged game is an interesting idea, moving items and enemy placements around doesn't really mean much beyond an extra replay, maybe. It's like you take that and you replace it with a PS1 version of our remake.
It's full. It's full.
It's like how the DS version of Resident Evil DS, which if you're gonna play the original, the only way to play it, honestly. Has Rebirth and Classic. And the tragic thing is, Rebirth is a range mode, which is nice to have, but it also adds a bunch of DS gimmicks. Like the CPR minigame with Richard and...
Oi, he's over here.
The little chests and the Master of Knifing minigame, which gets so tiresome. Especially since damage you take in that carries over. And it's where most of the damage in the game is going to come from that way. It really is. It really is. It's why I think I recommended it to Teak. I don't know if Teak had played it previously. I definitely recommended it to Ali, who's another streamer, who is really into the original Resident Evil, but has never done the DS version. And the first time she saw it was when I streamed it a while back, and I streamed it specifically in Rebirth to show it off.
To make you eat that.
Like, the DS version adds, like, it's got a map on the top screen. All the gameplay happens at the bottom. We take out Rebirth mode, which adds the Master of Knifing thing, which is a touchscreen minigame that happens randomly when you go into certain rooms. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. The CPR minigame with Richard, which is just frustrating. The little chests you find in specific safe rooms that have touchscreen puzzles on them. Like, take those out, because they only appear in Rebirth mode. And just go onto the original mode, it's labeled as Classic, and you get original Resident Evil with the map on the top screen. The top screen will also display your health, your current weapon. Pretty much, yeah. Top screen displays the map, your health, your current weapon, and how much ammo is in there. The knife isn't an item anymore. Doesn't take up a slot in your inventory. It's a quick knife. It's on your. It's mapped to the L button. You hold L, you pull the knife out, and you can swipe, and it makes it way more useful that way. The 180 quick turn from RE3, a manual reload, which is super convenient. It's a bunch of great quality of life features, and it makes the original Resident Evil so much more playable. Like, all of it together. Especially the health display on the top screen.
Keep an eye out for the American, eh? On big one's his head.
Since, you know, RE1 doesn't have damage states, it's going to go back up on its own, or do I need to pull the switch again?
On big isn't paying us enough for this, man.
Внимание! He's on it! Got you like a fish.
Okay, one down. Two. Three. That got kinda nasty, but we made it. Yeah, RE1's a game that I want to like more than I do, and like the main way to like it is really just play Deadly Silence. Like, Capcom would be, like, also has subtitles, which is really nice. And Capcom really should put like a trilogy together of the original 3 RE games. Bundle them together as like the Resident Evil collection, Legacy collection, whatever. Hell, maybe even stick Survivor in there. Just for shits and giggles. And like, take the improvements, specifically modify the original version of Resident Evil with Deadly Silence. I forgot how to roll. To be fair, I've got so many ideas for so many things. Yeah, there's another one. And like, ask about any of these ideas and you'll probably think they're good ideas. Like the idea I have for a Star Wars slasher movie with either Vader or Maul as the villain. Well, here's a fun thing. I had a really neat idea for how Resident Evil 2 could work co-op. And it'd be a really interesting and unique idea with co-op. In that you are encouraged to spend the entire game basically separate. But it basically ends up with one person playing Claire A, one person playing Leon B.
That statue is some sort of trap mechanism.
Or one person playing Leon A, one person playing Claire B.
Maybe I can trick it into shooting at something else.
Well, landed on the grass, which was perfect. Yeah, kind of. God, how many people know what Martian Gothic reunification is? More so, though, with the idea of each character having separate objectives, and while you could meet up occasionally to help the other person accomplish them, you still have your own objectives and your own pathways. And have the radios have limited batteries, so you can only keep in contact very sporadically, unless you just wanted to waste it. But basically, it was the entire idea of two-player Resident Evil.
There he is.
Basically, the entire idea of RE2, if one person played Scenario A and the other person played Scenario B. And, like, actually have them go on at the same time. It'd need tweaking and refining as an idea, but it could work, and it could be pretty fun. God damn it. Damn it. I'm specifically in ideas, man. And... oh, jeez. I do come up with some good ideas. I don't have the programming knowledge to actually implement any of them. You see, that'd really be it.
That bat
In a
statue
game
is some
design
sort of trap
sense,
mechanism.
I would
Seems
probably
to be
be a
triggered
director.
by sounds. Maybe I can trick it into shooting at something else.
Like specific ideas and how to work them out, but somebody else would have to code them.
There he is!
Pretty much, yeah. All I say, the idea of a Star Wars slasher movie where Vader or Maul are the villains.
There he is.
And the beautiful thing about it is you don't even have to do anything that isn't Star Wars. The entire way the idea works is just that Vader or Maul don't get killed and are specifically terrorizing people within a small space. Like a space station. Okay, why didn't that one work? Great. Okay. Well, we made it through.
There it is, the heart of Kuruwatu.
Alright.
Whoa! Looks like somebody's been overfeeding the fish. If I don't get that monster out of the way, this is going to be a real short swim.
That's a big one. So first, I'm gonna need to figure out which direction I'm going. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, we made it. Who was it? Do you have any other notable credits? Quite good at not being Harrison Ford. Or did he regularly do voice work for Harrison Ford's characters? Like how Corey Burton regularly played Christopher Lee's characters. Crap. Well, that went wrong.
There it is, the heart of Kuruwatu. Whoa!
Might be specifically
somebody's
why
been
he
overfeeding
plays
the
Indy
fish.
in this game.
If I don't get
Chances
that
are he
monster
would
out
have
of the
likely
way,
played
this is gonna be a
Han
real
Solo
short
first.
swim.
Shit. Well, I think the game might have glitched there, but it was in my favour. Did play Han Solo first. So, predating this game, that would probably be something like Galactic Battlegrounds? Possibly Star Wars Rebellion? Like, Han Solo didn't appear in that many of the games around this time period. Yeah. 'Cause around this time period, a lot of the games were focused either on Old Republic stuff or specifically New Republic stuff, and Han wasn't in any of those games, neither was Leia. No, it's just me having played a lot of this stuff, Ninja. I think the closest Han came to being in one of the expanded universe games around this time was in Jedi Academy. In one of the Tatooine levels, you can find the Millennium Falcon, and Chewbacca teams up with you on that level, but you don't actually run into Han. It's mostly worthless trivia. Can I make that? Like, there's one thing to complain about with this game. It's the checkpointing. If I screw up here, we're back to the start. Okay. Climb up. Kind of, but more in a case of just archaic. Ghostbusters was bad design that would have been unacceptable in that day and age. This is just a case of, this is a game from like 2003. Yeah, in a remaster it's even more inexcusable. If anything, your playthrough yesterday, Ninja, has convinced me not to buy the remaster. So it's a good thing I have the PS4, the original PS3 version. There we go. It's the case of the lazy caching. The most surprising thing was that they basically got rid of the Ghostbusters theme. Like, what was the fear that they have to pay Ray Parker Jr. for it? Okay, I used that chain. I might be able to work away close enough. No, boy. There it is, the heart of Kuruwatu. Here it is. Obligatory collapse. Okay. That means I need the machete. I have a friend who screwed up a save once. Was at a friend's house, we were playing Tekken 5. I'd unlocked all the characters. And after a match, he decided to turn the game off. And turn it off so we could play a different game, and did it while it was saving. Which corrupted the save, and I wasn't happy because playing Devil Within to unlock Devil Jin was so fucking awkward. Hated that whole side game thing. God damn it. But, you know, he took responsibility for it and unlocked everything for me again. I have to restart the level, don't I?
There it is.
Yep.
The heart of Kuruwatu. Whoa! Looks like somebody's been overfeeding the fish. If I don't get that monster out of the way, this is going to be a real short swim.
Come on. Yeah, my siblings had that habit. Really fucking irritating. Begs the question, why the fuck does Pokemon still only have one save file per cartridge? Like, if you want to argue limitations on the Game Boy, sure, whatever. But you start arguing that shit on the Game Boy Advance and beyond? Now, you know what the reason is? So that people have to buy multiple cartridges. But yeah, Pokemon, Metroid Prime, Final Fantasy. Pretty much anything, really. I delete the save file? Fuck knows. Anything that isn't Pokemon makes it even worse. Why delete the save file? There's other empty files. Okay, we're almost there. Yeah, accidentally. I had that with Metroid Prime. I specifically remember the Metroid Prime situation. It was a case of I went out. I remembered, oh shit, I forgot to take my GameCube memory card with me. Like the one time I forgot it, and I come back home and, nope, Metroid Prime's been deleted. What a coincidence. That put me off finishing that game for a while, actually. Okay. Come on. The fucking croc is already there.
Guten Tag, Dr. Jones.
Why didn't this
It's a
cutscene kick
beautiful
in
day
last
for
time?
swim, is it not? I would join you, but I seem to have forgotten my bathing suit.
No problem. I can lend you mine. It's back at the hotel.
The famous American sense of humor. I never really understood it.
Look, Hans, or Klaus, or whatever your name is, I don't know what you're talking about. But whatever it is, I'm sure we can cut a deal.
Very well. Here is the deal. You will give me the idol. Now.
Okay, you've made your point. I've got what you want right here.
Ah! Kill him!
Good thing this ancient artifact survived being knocked to the floor. Why didn't that cutscene kick in last time? Look at that, I even have a Dr. Jones model.
Excuse me.
The exhibit hall is upstairs.
We are not tourists, Dr. Jones. I am Marshal Kaiti Chang of the Chinese Republic. This is my assistant, Mei Ying.
So, what can I do for you?
你确定这真是 Jones 博士吗？好普通的名字。
你别将他的外表给骗了，正式博士不敢掌握是很少真正的。
不管用手、用脚、用团都可以，只有你能把事情办到。你有什么主意吗？
What do you know about 晋喜皇帝?
The first emperor of China. He built the Great Wall and established a dynastic government that lasted for centuries. His reign lasted from 255 BC to...
That information can be found in a school book, Dr. Jones.
Well, yeah, I am a teacher.
My interests concern the stories surrounding the Emperor's tomb. As you are undoubtedly aware, Emperor Qin is buried under Mount Li near the city of Xi'an.
Yes, that's about all anybody really knows for sure. According to the legends, Qin's tomb is an immense underground city filled with unimaginable riches, which took thousands of workers several years to build. After its completion, all those involved with the construction of the tomb were sealed inside. At least that's what the stories say. Due to Chinese superstition, nobody really knows for sure.
Yes. The Chinese people have always held that excavation and desecration of the tomb are one and the same. As a consequence, no one has ever been allowed to explore it. Until now.
Why are you coming to me with this? Chinese history isn't exactly my specialty.
It's your non-academic reputation that interests me. Have you ever heard of the Heart of the Dragon?
Only in Chinese folklore. It's a mythological artifact like Excalibur or the Holy Grail.
Ah. But unlike those flights of Western fancy, the Heart of the Dragon is quite real.
Yeah, because the Holy
A
Grail
flawless
is...
black pearl that was buried with the Emperor. It's said that the heart possesses the power to control the will of men.
Look, I know you traveled a long way to see me, but I'm an archaeologist, not a mystic.
Then it's a good thing I came looking for it.
Damn it, Kite, see you an archaeologist.
Superstitious folktales aside,
On a
the heart
mystic.
is a priceless treasure of the Chinese people, one that must never fall into the wrong hands.
Mean
That
like
is why
Nazis?
China wants you to find it.
Okay, let's say I'm interested. It'll take months of meticulous excavation to find the entrance to Qin's crypt. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
On the contrary, Dr. Jones, you've already begun.
Hey!
That's amazing.
What
Didn't
the heck
shatter
is
when it
that?
hit the ground.
It is
Didn't
one
say
third
it
of the
on.
Mirror of Dreams. The mirror is the key to finding the crypt's entrance within the tomb.
You do not realize the magnitude of the events you've set in motion, Dr. Jones. Even as we speak, others are pursuing the 2 remaining pieces. If they get the mirror, nothing will stop them from entering the crypt, stealing the heart, and using its power to enslave the world.
So the
My
Nazis.
apologies, Professor. My assistant is cursed with a vivid imagination and an impetuous tongue.
Reminds me of my last date.
In any event, the British government has graciously allowed me to take possession of this artifact on China's behalf. We want you to recover the final 2 pieces of the mirror, enter Qin's crypt, and recover the heart of the dragon. You'll become the
It
most
was nice of
famous
you to just decide
archaeologist in
that and
history.
not bother
Will you
compensating me
help
for
us?
it.
A chance
my
to become the
work.
first man in the Emperor's tomb? When do we leave?
Is it the eyebrows?
I've already booked you a flight to Prague. It leaves tomorrow morning.
This contains everything you need to know. Read it on the flight. Be careful, Dr. Jones. The path to the dragon's heart is more dangerous than you can imagine.
It
I
always
can
is,
imagine quite a
sweetheart.
bit. Welcome to Prague. Known today as Prague.
Looks like the old castle isn't abandoned after all. Better keep a low profile. I can't afford any trouble on this one.
And the question becomes, is it racist if it's a game set in the 30s? I mean, to be fair, that guy is basically one step short of being a Fu Manchu. Oh well, so much for not causing trouble. Oh, they got rid of my bigger canteen. I'm not even intruding yet, is the funny thing. Like, give me a few minutes at least. If you want to start attacking me, give me, like, let me do something to give you a reason to attack me. Walking down the street singing, oh my dum diddy-doo. I'm pretty sure they're Nazis, they're not going to apologise. Nazis never do. I'll lower the camera sensitivity. Oh. Remember, Nazis are bad people. That's why it's okay to beat them up when you go to Prague. You know, for this era, this is actually a pretty good looking landscape. How is Alan Wake going for you? That game is still on my backlog.
Wir können hier Hilfe gebrauchen.
I bought an Xbox 360 back in... Well, I got an Xbox 360 for Christmas back in 2014. And I was like, well, now this is going to be one of the games that I really want to play that wasn't on PS3. So I picked it up, and here we are in 2020, I've still not played it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Do you have your papers? Nein, not intimidating enough. Show me your papers now, please. Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes it's better to run because we'll just keep spawning enemies. Oh, that's the reload button. Huh. Maybe one day I'll stream Remedy's previous game. Or previous but one. Max Payne. Maybe one day I'll stream Max Payne 2. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still a really solid game. Well, that was a lot of work to get through a gate. Oh, that looks dangerous. Let's find out why I had to go that way then. Because there's a big gate. Alright.
Der Amerikaner, tötet ihn!
Thank you. You guys are just loading me with Luger ammo. But none of you seem to have a full clip. Which is kind of disturbing. Yep, locked gates. And some ammo. Was it worth it? We'll find out. Do 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 do. Down down. Brown brown. Brown brown. Brown brown. Brown brown. Oh, I'm sorry, Ninja.
Not too much more of this, I hope. Just keep your eyes open.
Maybe when I'm done here, Herr Göring will give me that riding crop he promised me.
Well, they're definitely Nazis then.
Der Amerikaner, tötet ihn! Zeig mal, was du kannst, Amerikaner!
I wish they'd stop fighting over that gun. No! No! My hat! My deadliest foes yet. Just two guys. Bo-ba-doo. Bo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Another table lag. How unusual. Eh. Maybe I should learn to roll. Like that. Oh, it's just a quick tap. Okay. I knew it was something to do with the L trigger. The penitent man shall pass. Oh god, that really is the penitent man shall pass. Galaxy Quest is so good. Damn. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to call Indiana Jones here. I'm going to go take a bathroom break, and we'll be back with another game in just a few minutes. Don't touch that dial.